Hello, this article is from the September 2018 issue of Teaching Children Mathematics, and it is titled Chewing on Meaningful Counting in Pre-Kindergarten, written by Parks, Wakabayashi, and Hardin. And this article is focusing on the daily routines that occur in a preschool classroom and how to increase opportunities for children to do meaningful counting in those situations. So simply stating that chanting numbers in whole group settings is not a way that children learn skills, but children need opportunities to engage with materials that they can touch as they count. So this article goes on to reflect on a study that took place with public preschools in Michigan, and observations were made in a regular normal day that doesn't necessarily have to include a mathematical lesson. One particular teacher was highlighted. Her name is Miss Jackson, and how she included mathematics skills in her attendance counts and morning messages. She chooses a student each day to do the counting, asking the child to move around the room, not just that, but touching each friend as he or she counted, and thus reinforcing the opportunity to practice one-to-one correspondence. Miss Jackson does many things. She models how to think about getting from 14 to 16 when they take attendance, after they take attendance, and wherein 14 are present, yet there are 16 in the classroom. So by doing so, she provides a verbal count as she points to the dots, and she makes connections across representations. So Ms. Jackson routinely creates opportunities for children to engage in meaningful counting during the morning message. So she also provides counting tasks as part of the message. Here is her classroom and her morning message on this day. She has a visual, numerical number and visual representation. So she reinforces meaningful counting skills throughout her message, and she even does it during small group lessons where children are picking up things with a magnet, and she draws attention to how many objects did they pick up, and where children begin to focus on counting or quantity of a set, whereas other teachers that were observed had a science lesson and was strictly science, and they did not take advantage of the math that's included in the lesson. So here, the teacher did not comment on how many objects they had in front of them, just simply talked about which ones sank and floated. Another one with pumpkins and pumpkin seeds. They did not encourage counting seeds, just scooped them out and made observations on other things that had to do with science and did not necessarily focus on math skills. So this article encourages early childhood teachers to think about designing small group activities, explicitly developing children's counting skills. More importantly, to have the child count, manipulating the objects. So again, they encourage early childhood teachers to look for places in daily routines where children can count objects or can touch objects as they count, have conversations about quantity, and name the totals that they have counted, thus building a strong foundation in number. So many of the same types of daily routines referenced in this article also exist in my kindergarten classroom. We have a classroom full of materials that can be used to practice meaningful activity. So in all the given opportunities we encounter in our kindergarten day, even across content area including literacy, small group activities can provide counting skills, and I need to do a better job at modeling and eliciting counting with one-to-one correspondence, knowing how crucial touching objects will increase this skill.